Welcome back, everyone. Today, I'm taking on a wild challenge, surviving an entire day in a new city with absolutely no money. No cash, no cards, just creativity and courage to make it through. From finding food to discovering shelter and navigating the city streets, can I pull it off? Watch every moment as I test the limits of resourcefulness and human kindness. Don't miss a second of this journey, and don't forget to subscribe for more epic adventures. Number 5. Early hustle. The day kicked off with nothing but determination and an empty pocket. No wallet, no backup, not even coins, just the challenge to survive an entire day in a busy city without spending a single rupee. The first mission: find food and internet access. I started by visiting local temples and gurdwaras, where free meals are often served to anyone, regardless of background. These places became my initial safe havens, offering warm food and a moment of peace. Then came the hunt for Wi-Fi. Coffee shops were off limits without a purchase, but libraries and public parks became goldmines. Some city buses and railway stations had free internet, and I used those to plan the rest of the day. I even found a co-working space offering a 1-hour free trial, enough time to send out a few emails and research more survival hacks. By noon, I hadn't spent a penny, but had eaten, connected to the internet, and mapped out my next steps. The early hustle was all about moving fast, thinking creatively, and using the city's public resources wisely. It was a test of both patience and street-smart instincts, setting the tone for what would be a very unconventional day. Number 4. Street smarts. Navigating a city without money is all about using your brain more than your wallet. The key was to stay alert and resourceful. I asked locals about free shuttle routes, and one kind shopkeeper pointed me to a community bus that ran on donations. No fare needed. Walking became my main mode of travel. But when the distance got long, I found a group offering free cycling tours for tourists. I joined in, acting like one of them, and got to explore parts of the city without spending anything. At one point, I needed internet badly to look up maps and options, so I headed to a tech store pretending to browse phones, all while secretly using their open Wi-Fi. Timing also mattered. I aligned my movements with the flow of crowds to blend in and enter free entry hours at certain places. Even charging my phone was a hustle. I spotted a public park with a free charging station near a food truck. Every step required smart thinking, fast decisions, and making the most of what the city already had to offer. When you have no money, your awareness becomes your currency, and your ability to adapt is your survival tool. Number 3. Kindness wins. In the middle of the chaos and uncertainty, something powerful stood out: kindness. As I wandered the city with no money, hunger kicking in and feet sore, I approached strangers with nothing but honesty. I told them exactly what I was doing, trying to survive one day in the city with no cash. To my surprise, people didn't just ignore me or walk away. One shop owner gave me a bottle of water and a fruit without hesitation. A group of students shared their lunch, and we ended up chatting for half an hour. Even a street vendor offered me tea when I looked tired. It wasn't just about the food or help. It was the warmth and genuine human connection that lifted my spirit. These small acts reminded me that despite how tough the world feels sometimes, people still care. This wasn't charity, it was empathy. And in that moment, I realized something deeper. Surviving a day without money is tough, but it's made possible by the hearts of those willing to give without expecting anything back. Kindness wasn't just a help, it became the reason I made it through the day. Number 2. Hidden gems. Exploring the city with no money pushed me to look beyond the usual tourist spots. With nothing to spend, I turned to the streets, parks, and public areas to find entertainment and culture. I discovered an open-air art exhibit tucked away near a busy market, completely free to view and buzzing with creativity. A local told me about a community center offering free entry to a cultural event, traditional music, dancing, and local snacks, which I was lucky enough to be offered by a kind stranger. In the heart of the city, I found the peaceful public garden where street performers put on spontaneous shows. Everything from magic tricks to live music. These places weren't mentioned in guidebooks, but they showed me the real soul of the city. I even came across a historical building that offered free entry during specific hours. The architecture alone was worth the visit. Not spending money didn't limit my experience. In fact, it gave me a more authentic one. I realized how many experiences are hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone curious enough to look for them. The city revealed its charm when I had nothing but time and attention to offer. Number 1. Final test. As the sun dipped below the skyline, reality hit harder than ever. Night was coming, and I had no money, no room booked, and no backup plan. This was the ultimate survival test. My feet were sore from walking all day, and the city that looked vibrant in daylight suddenly felt distant and cold. I started scouting for 24-hour spots like train stations, hospital waiting areas, or even temple courtyards, anywhere that felt safe and open to the public. One option was a late-night bus terminal where a few others were already lying quietly on benches. I kept my bag close and stayed alert, trying to rest without fully falling asleep. The noise, lights, and the occasional security guard walk by made it tough to relax. Still, it was shelter, and it cost nothing. For a moment, I understood the weight many face nightly with no home to return to. It wasn't just about comfort anymore. It was about safety, mental strength, and staying calm. This final stretch, the toughest part of the day, taught me the real meaning of resilience. I didn't spend a single rupee, but the experience was richer than any currency could measure. Thanks for watching this crazy no-money survival challenge. It was tough, eye-opening, and full of unexpected turns. If you enjoyed this journey and want to see more wild experiments and real-life adventures, hit that like button, share your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more.